So, Scorched Earth is a post-apocalyptic world-building tabletop role-play game. Don't worry, it's a bit of a mouthful, I know, but it's not that scary. What it is one big game separated into three phases. The first phase is sort of half board game, half role-play game, and it is set the day after the end of the world. It is a cooperative experience, and it's based around exploration of the local area, sort of where your survivors have found themselves. I've kept the concept in mind that I want the first phase to be really easy for new players, to have a really low barrier to entry, and to help new people settle into the concept of role-playing. The second phase is a short campaign. It is entirely based around exploration and discovery, and then interacting with the other settlements in the area. And then the third phase is a lot more of what role players are going to be used to. It's more like a setting book, but unlike most setting books, I don't know what's going to be in it. The world that would have been built by this point is a fully fleshed out world, entirely built by the action of the players. The way I've been describing this to people is you spend phase 1 and 2 building this beautiful map of sort of history, background, characters, legends, and then phase 3 is a big sticker book full of shiny stickers, full of encounters, locations, plot hooks, campaign ideas, that sort of stuff, so that a GM can build awesome adventures, challenges and stories for their players. The really cool thing about this system is it actually allows you to build the world from scratch. No preconceptions, no sort of railroading of other ideas already in place. It allows you full freedom and full reign of what you want to do. And so as such, rather than like a narrative heavy system like a lot of other ones, it's basic guidelines to allow the GM to work with the players to do what they want. I personally haven't been able to find any systems that compare to this. There are other world building systems out there, I'll be the first to admit, but I found that all of them fall into one of two camps. They're either far too vague and have almost no numbers or structure to them. For example, one of them is like you talk and say something about what he said, then you talk and say what she said, and so on and so on. And then there are other ones that are set in pre-existing systems or structures which limit the choices of what a player can do and sort of very much limit the outcomes of the world building. What I think this system does very, very well is bridge that gap. So there are no hard lines or limits or structures, meaning the players can do pretty much whatever they want in the system, but there are just enough mechanics and numbers in there to allow the players' choices to have quantifiable outcomes, which I think is really rewarding as a player to be able to see the results of your decisions, and really helpful as a GM to give them those sort of numbers and rules to fall back on to actually give those results back. This system, I think, is a really nice blend of board gaming and tabletop role playing, which is a nice tool to help bring new people into the community. It's a low barrier to entry, it's not very heavy role play from the word go, and it can sort of help be a little less intimidating for new players. And I think this system is a really nice, smooth entry to role playing for new players. The pledges start with a £5, what I've been referring to as the PDF and Patience pledge. It reflects my belief that digital content should be as cheap as possible to the consumer. It is purely, you will get a PDF copy of the rulebook and player's guides when the game's finished. The next one up from there is the PDF and early access. What that one gives you is the same sort of PDFs when the game's finished. Just to note, they will be the full versions of the book in PDF form, so all the same artwork, all the full colour stuff, all the fluff and nice things you expect in a roleplay book. But they're also going to get a PDF early access of Phase 1. So as soon as Phase 1 is complete, they'll get a PDF version of that that's a playable, kind of like a game test bundle, but a little bit better. And every pledge from there on up will get that. There are then multiple pledges of different levels of physical books, depending on what people want. But what I'd like to talk about is the top 2 levels of pledge. The first one of those is called the World Builder Pledge. The World Builder Pledge is quite an ambitious concept. What I want to do with that is working with myself and sort of my team of playtesters back here. The up to 55, and that is a limited hard cap on World Builder pledges, the 55 World Builders, we're going to work together, and through play we are going to build a huge, deep, rich, historied post-apocalyptic world. It's going to have over 300 unique locations, and it's going to stretch across the United Kingdom and across multiple states in the USA. The reason we're doing this is as an example of what this system is capable of, to show the level of depth and background we can put into a setting. The useful thing with this as well is it's also going to give players and GMs who don't necessarily either have the time or want to play through all the world building parts of Phase 1 and 2, though that's kind of the point of the system, if they just want to jump into a post-apocalypse setting just to start role-playing. The first video after this I'm going to be putting up on the YouTube channel is going to be a sort of longer form video talking about actually what's going to be involved with the world builder thing, and that should be up in the next couple of days, or it should already be up depending on when people are watching this video. The final top tier pledge, now it's called the More Money Than Sense pledge, and it is a £10,000 pledge. Now up front, I do not expect anybody to actually pledge this. What it is there for is, if there is some role-playing millionaire out there who happens to think that this project should get off the ground without any help from anyone else, this pledge is for you. What I'm going to give to anyone who does decide to pledge this level is they're going to have a copy of every single game, every rulebook, every player's guide I make for every system I make from here on out, ad infinitum. Also, they're going to get one of every piece of merchandise that I make from here on out in the first run of whatever it's going to be. As I say, I don't really expect anyone to actually pledge, but you never know. There are nice people out there who have more money than sense. Assuming a successful Kickstarter, from August onwards I'm going to be setting up a web forum and posting regular video updates on YouTube so that I can get feedback from the backers and sort of keep all you guys in the loop. As Phase 1 is pretty much feature complete, all it needs at this point is a little bit of gameplay and kind of writing in a way that people other than me can play it easily. I'm very hopeful, I'm almost certain I'll have this in PDF form by the end of September, shipped out to people. Obviously then, for the physical copies, it's going to take a little bit of time for printing and then for postage to get out to people. As it's not going to be a particularly complex or complicated book, there shouldn't be too many issues with that. My aim is to have Phase 2 and 3 mechanically complete by the end of February. Now, this shouldn't be too difficult, as Phase 2 and 3 mechanically are going to be very similar. Sort of Phase 2 is just going to have a lot more of the random encounters and the structure for exploration of that sort of thing, and then Phase 3 is going to be, as I've said previously, a lot more of like the sticker book and the shinies, just having more of the things for the GM to use as tools. My aim is to have the book complete by the end of July 2020. That's all the game testing, artwork and all the balancing work done and finished by then. Obviously then you have to add a little bit of time on top for getting the print copies done and then shipped out to people. I don't want to give any hard dates on that, because as we all know, no battle plan survives first contact with the enemy, and trying to get things manufactured has its own set of problems and issues. But you can be certain that I will be keeping everyone appraised every step of the way of what's going on. I believe in full transparency and as much communication as possible with the community. I think this is a really cool concept. I think it is distinctly different from any other systems I've found on the market at the moment. One of the things that I really like about this is I can apply this to other genres as well in the future. The thing with Scorched Earth itself is I've not found any other hopeful post-apocalyptic settings. I know that sounds really wishy-washy and a bit daft, but I honestly believe, barring total extinction, should the worst happen, humanity would come together. We'd rebuild and we'd crack on. And none of the other systems I've found, none of the post-apocalyptic settings I've found, really cater to that sort of desire to rebuild. Yeah, obviously the players might decide to just become a bunch of marauding barbarians and raiders who just want to murder everyone and take their stuff. And that's the joy of the system. They're free to do that. But what I've found is a lot of players and a lot of the playtest games we've run through have tended usually to being sort of cooperative and people building a community, which then allows a GM to have a sort of big group of people to have some fun with, and you can sort of build different experiences from that. Other than that, I can't think of anything else that I need to say in this video. Other than please keep an eye on the YouTube channel. I will be updating it regularly with videos throughout the course of the Kickstarter. And as I've said previously, once the game, assuming the Kickstarter is successful, I will be putting up at least weekly videos just to keep people sort of in the loop of what's going on with development. Thank you very much, and hopefully I'll see you in the community soon.